What is up, my lovely Virgo gang? Welcome to my channel, Tarot by the Intuitive Teacup. That's me. My name is Annie, and I'm going to read your tarot cards today. FYI, this general tarot message will be geared more towards Virgo rising because I am using an astrology chart in addition to the tarot cards. Of course, anyone and everyone is welcome to this reading, Virgo, Sun, Moon, Rising, Venus, cross-watchers included. But I would highly recommend, if you resonate with my reading style and want a more in-depth look at what's going on in the next couple weeks, check out your rising sign as well. So if you're Virgo rising, you are in the right place for sure. But shop around. You're welcome to watch any reading you feel called towards. As always, go with your intuition. You are accountable and responsible for all your own actions and decisions. I want these messages to motivate, empower, inspire you, offer you a different perspective, something to think about. So if you're not feeling that way, if you're not feeling enthused, if the messages are not hitting you right this week, it might just not be your message. That will happen sometimes. Or it may hit you differently at a different time, so feel free to check back then. That's my spiel. That's my ramble. Let's hop in for my Virgo gang out there. Damn, Virgo. Nice. The area of your life being highlighted via tarot cards right now is your travel. You may have an unexpected travel opportunity that it might involve a Leo. It might involve traveling to a child or for a child or to your parents if you are the child. There's a very strong element of childhood and children coming through here, especially, in your 9th house of long distance travel. So something could arise, and interestingly enough, planet Uranus is sitting there. So especially in terms of unplanned, unforeseen opportunities though, there could be something that arises in the coming weeks where you're just like, oh, I guess I'm going to Europe. It would be something that brings you joy though. Again, that's not a message to stress you out anyway, right? I don't really try and aim for those messages, but it would be a happy opportunity, but it may actually be encouraging you to take a risk, take a chance on something that maybe outside of your everyday life seems a little bit off kilter or left of center. I mean, always practice good I'm wanting to say, obviously, operate using safety, trust your gut, trust your intuition, but if this seems like a good opportunity for you, holy cannoli, Virgo, as I'm looking at this, this seems like a tremendous opportunity for you. So let's talk more about this, because I'm looking at areas in life, based on, again, Virgo risings especially, but it could resonate for anyone out there who's watching this. Your houses 1, 5, and 9 are connected in your birth chart. It's sort of like your houses of your core essence, very much related to fire-esque energy. Now, the reason I say that is that because the signs most associated with these areas of life are the fire signs, Aries, Leo, Sag. You have that in your chart no matter what you associate with as your zodiac sign. So specifically areas in life, though, that are requiring you to be a bit more fire-esque, a bit more risk-taking, adventurous, thrill-seeking, also a need to express who you are, your core ego, your identity, your needs as an individual, who you are in this world. I know these are big kind of heady concepts. There's some opportunity coming to you, and I would even go as far to say that it is a blessing that more or less lands in your lap. Again, very likely unexpected for you. And what's interesting is you have this full moon coming up this week, an area of life where you may see some culmination or peak, some sort of, there's a word I'm circling around, pun intended, with the full moon. Anyway, some sort of opportunity or blessing you might not see coming, but it's actually setting you off in a different direction or on a new chapter, and it is like a weight has been lifted. An aspect we refer to as a trine, meaning that there is these areas of life have a connection to one another. You have 2 new blessings coming in the form of, again, wands, action, travel, spirituality. I am wanting to say enthusiasm, risk-taking, adventure. There's like a spark. There's like a magic to whatever this is. And then it's something that would fill your cup. It would make you feel emotionally fulfilled. It was something about being emotionally stimulated. It may pull at some emotions within you that are trying to get out, but I would say it's to bring you healing. This is a wonderful opportunity, a wonderful blessing. I know there's a lot of mystery and intrigue about this, and even more so because you also have Pluto sitting in this 5th house too. So your 5th house has a lot to do with areas regarding your dating life, areas you seek pleasure, your hobbies, leisure activities, even things, your children, the way you express yourself, your creative energy. I would say you're going to be feeling a burst of that, and something about that may actually, an area of culmination regarding any of those topics somehow is in conversation with whatever the sun is happening in your house of travel. Also mental exploration. It's almost like there could be a light specifically shown on some new educational experience, even if it's not literally going back to college. You may be learning a new language. You may be being introduced to a new set of spiritual tools, spirituality, learning new concepts, new philosophies, a new system of living that promotes health and wellness in your own life, Virgo. Does that make any sense to you guys? I don't know exactly what it is, because I mean it will be different for all of you out there, but this is like instantly drew my eye, and I'm like, wow, this looks awesome. So again, it's not necessarily going to happen on the specific date of the full moon, but I do think it's preparing you for this new opportunity and blessings. It could be a romantic connection, possibly with a fire sign or a water sign. It certainly doesn't have to be, but whatever these are, they're working together. In terms of what these have in common, it's fire and water, which is very interesting. So those two often are not, they're very opposite when we think about them. But areas of life where these would work together quite well is, again, something much more spiritual, something much more creative. And I just keep wanting to use the word a little bit more risky, which is really interesting because that's exactly what Capricorn had in their message too. A need to take a risk that is long overdue because you're doing it for yourself. It's honoring, again, your identity, your credo, your core beliefs as a human being. But with that, there's also growth and expansion there too. So some of you may literally be going back to school or taking some new course, but I don't know. It seems wonderful and it seems positive. I'm sorry if that's a little bit vague, but I guess I would be intrigued by it. I'm not purposely trying to leave you hanging, but I think this is going to reveal itself in time. And what's interesting too, what's also going to reveal itself in time is this. So this could be long-term plans of building a future with someone, but it might not be here yet. Right now, your 10 of Pentacles, which is you're in the money, that type of energy. It also has to do with legacy and generational aspects, building of a family, building of a business. What you create in this lifetime, the legacy you build for yourself, you're certainly working on that with this showing up in your 10th house. This isn't all here yet. It may trickle in small bits, or it may come very unexpectedly. I mean, I suppose this could be a job opportunity. It's not out of the question, especially one that has a lot of travel in it, maybe something with a Leo. It's funny, I just heard Sagittarius, and I don't know why, because I'm not looking at any Sagittarius cards. That's so funny. I don't know why that's coming through. But anyway, Virgo, I'm intrigued to see what this is. In fact, let's throw a card on it. Well, let's see what's working with it first. That'll tell me a little bit more. So this is showing up in your 12th house of things that are hidden away, secrets. It also has to do with shadow work and soul work. And if this life you are meant to accomplish things in a more spiritual sense, it could be healing with a family dynamic. That's showing up, and it's almost being birthed into the world. So if you're not consciously aware that you're going through, or you're going to be going through some major healing opportunities with a family member. In fact, you may be avoiding it, especially a parent-child dynamic. That essentially, as it makes its way from its 12th to your 1st, it's coming into life. It's coming into birth. So I would say these beautiful opportunities are related. It could be, again, something to do with a relationship with a fire or a water sign. Now let's see, in your houses of soul, that's where this is showing up. Again, what is hidden away. We're also going to look at the Empress and a little bit of conflict. Interesting. So conflicted about your home, conflicted about a matter regarding the household, frustrated, impatient, feeling competitive. It could be that you are looking for a new place to reside, is what I was going to say. You could be grappling with something with inheritance, or something with just any sort of predicament with your mother, or possibly finances. There may be an ongoing struggle or opposition with that area of your life. Again, those cards are sort of in conversation with one another. What's great, though, is that in your fourth house, which quite literally represents your house, your home, where you reside, your land, your property, you have the Empress coming through. So she represents opportunities regarding love and money. Planet Venus, right? Venus is very much related to Libra, for starters. So it is about the relationship and the other. As well as Taurus, which has to do with material goods, property, as well as sustenance. You know, as silly as it says, Venus sounds, Venus, much like the moon, has a connection to nourishment of the body, our food, right? Sustainability. This is such a specific message, but I'm going to share it with you anyway. There's something here about money that's been hidden away. There's a couple things coming through here. Hold on. Let me look at this. There might be money that is coming to you that you don't know about, and it might be related to your mother's side of the family or something to do with the mother. Let's say your mother has her own business and she's doing this, or maybe the mother is you if you work in childcare, right? You need to be creative with how this fits into your life if it does. I don't predict death, so I think that's why I wanted to reiterate. I'm not saying, oh my God, your mom's gonna die, and that's not a thing. I don't do those readings, so don't take it there. That being said, if something about that resonates with you, that's your business, right? Anyway, I just say, I'm wanting to make clear, you have Mars moving through your 12th house in Leo right now, so there's a lot of action and energy preparing you for the arrival of this, but in ways that you might not be consciously aware of. Though I would argue, because it's showing up in your 12th, if you were to meditate or tap into the more spiritual side of life, there may be messages that come to you to help give you a little bit more sense of clarity of what this could be. Whatever it is, it's positive in the way it comes to your house. Again, I'm wanting to use the word transit or being transferred from the mother. If it doesn't have to do with the mother, it may have to do with a job opportunity that is hidden away that would allow you to save a lot of money or put a lot of money back into your house or your home. Where it gets muddled or conflicted is joint finances. So I'm also wanting to say, however this money or whatever this is, it could even be something very sentimental that has legacy that's been passed down to your family. It could literally be a house that you inherit or something like that or whatever. There's a need for you to be very smart about how much of this percentage you share with another or the chunk of money, and I see you giving away to others more than you are supposed to. Does that make sense to any of you guys? Especially in terms of, I don't know if it's like a marital conflict thing. The house of shared resources, your 8th house, there's a lot of wackiness happening there right now. Chiron is also sitting there, which is a planet of sort of, in a very broad nutshell, what needs to be healed, specifically about you as well. But I almost feel like, I don't want to say it's a warning, because again, this is not about instilling fear in anyone, but you acquire something great, and from that, it's like there's insects that go to the fruit. It's like they want a piece of it because you have it now, and I feel like Spirit is guiding you to be very discriminating about who you're sharing these ideas and these secrets with. Lucrative opportunities, your income. It's not saying you need to be selfish, but I think it is saying you need to enjoy this. You need to enjoy the fruits of your labor before you start dispersing it to everybody else in your life. Because right now, I think it has a tremendous sense about learning about guilt and shame of why on a subconscious level you may not feel like you deserve this, or that anything that you acquire through your own work, I almost feel like it gets filtered through this, it would be selfish of me to keep it all to myself. Not necessarily. Again, I would challenge your perspective just to try and view this from the other side, right? Balance is always good in our life. I see you being overly generous and extending yourself well beyond your means to provide for others, to the point, though, where you're empty. There's nothing left for you. It's like your resources are exhausted on everybody else around you. And so what came to you, it was this beautiful blessing, but you're not understanding. Sorry, I want to rephrase that. You may be struggling to understand why you don't feel fulfilled at the end of the day. It's like people are, I'm not even saying the people around you are malicious, because in a sense, hang with me here, you're enabling the behavior of people expecting you to take care of them, expecting you to dote on them, because I think you have an established pattern of doing so. And again, I'm not here to attack you, Virgo, right? I'm just here to shine some light on what the cards are saying. I see you lacking. There's like an exhaustive energy of, at the end of the day, I'm doing all these good things for everyone, and why don't I feel good about myself? Because there's something about you're constantly taking that cup of nourishment, that food, that liquid, that whatever, God, source, spirit, something that would be spiritually nourishing for you. You're giving it away, and so of course you're exhausted. You're looking at yourself as like what is a good word for it? The go-between, between point A and point B, but you're getting nothing out of it other than I suppose, in a sense, the fulfillment of helping others. But what about you? This is actually a really good message to me. It's about, this is like a new chapter for you to allow yourself to be, I think some of you would use the word selfish, and I don't have a problem with that in this reading, because I think that's something you've lacked in the past. You may have lacked boundaries of, I don't know if you want to say self-respect, but it's like you need something out of this. That doesn't make you selfish. That doesn't make you evil. That doesn't make you, fill in the blank. I think you need to start treating yourself with the same respect and admiration and loyalty, companionship that you do everyone else. Because at the end of the day, you're also responsible for taking care of yourself. And I think that should be priority number one. It always should have been. And by default, I'm sure life circumstances have, attributed to this pattern. You seem to always put yourself last. You seem to put your needs, emotional, physical, mental, sexual, right? All your needs seem to go on the back burner. And so they may erupt in ways that are very extreme, because your body, your soul is communicating to you. It so desperately needs to be nourished, and you may be only doing it in very quick, dramatic spurts, and then you pull back. Then it's like, okay, well, I did that thing for myself, so now it's like this is so Virgo-esque to me, and I apologize. I never mean to make these stereotypes of your star sign, but something very self-sacrificial, but to the point where you're bleeding yourself dry. You have nothing left for you. This is a beautiful lesson to love yourself more. So I hope you're not feeling attacked. I'm rooting for you guys. This is all coming from a positive place. I just want you to know that. So let's look a little bit more at this. I'm very intrigued by this coming in. Again, it has a very positive aspect to money coming to you through some sort of secret or hidden means that it will make itself known. It's not like shady per se. It comes to your house or helps your family. Maybe you guys are applying for some sort of loan, or I don't know, a government check or whatever. Although I don't know if it's that, because if you applied, you wouldn't know it was coming. It's possible that you may have applied for financial help with something and it's blocked or delayed, and it may come at a time that is unexpected. Others of you, this comes from a completely different source or entity, or opportunity comes in a different way than you anticipated or expected. And I think it's saying make sure you nourish yourself first with whatever this blessing or this gift is, because you actually have multiple areas of life that have blessings. You also have it, again, in your houses of sort of identity. The earth energy right now is really potent in your chart. But yeah, there's something about the merging of assets that might not be your friend right now. So just be cognizant of that. And I keep wanting to relate. Yeah, you have a lot of repeated messages. Something about generational wealth or inheritance or family money. If you are, I'll put it out there. If you are engaging in some sort of romantic relationship that is steadily on its way to becoming something more contractual, like a marriage contract, I would go as far as to say as like prenup. Like that's almost the vibe I get from this, is being very aware of what your resources are versus theirs. And I feel like some of you out there just hearing that, it's like, oh, well, I could never, like, it's ours. It's not mine and his, or, mine and hers, or whatever. It's like, again, this is your life. This is your story. You can do with it what you want, but there's an immature energy that might not be as responsible with money as you are. So I'm just putting that out there to save yourself headache in the long term, especially if you have a history of getting involved in any sort of contract, business, marriage, romantic, whatever, with people who maybe are not as money savvy as you. That is a repeated pattern in your life for a reason, because you're meant to learn from it and be more protective of your resources. It's not your job to provide money and resources, and I would even say like love, energy in any form or matter to everyone around you. And again, I think for most of you, it comes from a very good, pure place of, but with that, it's self-sacrificial to the point where you don't respect. It comes across as you lacking respect for yourself, and enabling the behavior of very needy people who maybe this is a tough lesson for them as well to step up to the plate, right? You've clearly done your part. I think you've overdone your part, and with that, you are subconsciously denying the people around you the beautiful gift of wisdom and knowledge and tough love messages of areas in life where they need to step up and be a better self-advocate, where they need to start showing up and doing the work in their own life. Don't enable the lazy people in your life. I said it, Virgo. I know that's a harsh message. And I'm not attacking you or your loved ones. Please don't interpret it as that. I just, again, tough love messages. I'm a firm believer in that. It doesn't always feel good when we hear them, but going down, there might be something that resonates there for you. So if it does, great. Tell me about this Ace of Cups. Yeah, new love. If you're single and looking, there's a very strong connection showing up again in your house of dating where that full moon energy is. And Pluto is sitting there too, so this could be an area of life where you experience very transformational relationships that transform you on an individual level as well as potentially as a couple. So you may have a male air sign showing up, if you are interested in males, of course. A Gemini, Libra, Aquarius may be showing up in the next few weeks in terms of a dating prospect. You may be the go-between, the liaison. That's a good word for it. That's a theme in your life. You're the liaison for lots of people. At work, possibly among your children, among your family. You may be the liaison between yourself and another sibling that has a lot of issues with a parent in particular. And again, you may have taken on that role or responsibility because it's all you've ever known. But I would challenge you to step back and ask, at what point does this sibling need to step up and do their part, right? Okay, so there's a cool message here too in your houses of money. Let's talk about money. An opportunity comes around that, again, challenges your need to satisfy other people. It challenges your need to always be the go-to person who rescues everyone and saves the day. With Saturn sitting there, Saturn is sitting in your 6th house of work. Be very cognizant of health issues, spreading yourself too thin, again, to please or meet the needs of others and being self-sacrificial of your energy. An opportunity has come around to you. I'm almost wanting to say a second time because it's something the universe kind of wants you to. With cups, it's like in metaphor, they want you to take a sip of that. They want you to taste it and see how nourishing and thirst quenching this could be. there's a part of you that really resists this opportunity and rejects it or denies it. Again, for reasons that I'm not sure you're totally consciously aware of, this would be a very good opportunity for you, but it would put you in a leadership role, and that might make you very uncomfortable. You might be very happy and content being the second in command. Let's say president versus vice president. There's still a lot of responsibility. There's still a lot of nobility. There's still a lot of respect for what you're doing. Tons. People very much respect you. But with that, it's almost like you've settled for less than you deserve. Oh my gosh, Virgo, that is a big message. And all the things I've been saying to you. You've been settling for less, and some of my Virgos have been giving it away too easily. What is that expression? No one's going to buy the cow if you give the milk for free. And I know that's more of like a tacky thing people say about, premarital sex. I'm not lecturing you about that. I'm very indifferent about that. That's your business. But really think about that, though. Where does that translate in other areas of your life? Giving your kids an allowance. For instance, something about money easily going from you, giving your kids an allowance. Well, what are they doing to earn that? Yes, they're kids, but they can sweep the floor. They can unload the dishes, right? Do you understand what I mean? You give so easily. You need to start giving with ease to yourself and things that would help you ascend spiritually as well as financially. I'm going to say it. I just feel like there's a leadership opportunity that would, it could be that this would put you under the microscope a lot. It would put you in a very powerful, I would say advantageous position, but with any high authority figure or position of power, there might be a lot of both praise and criticism, and it might be the criticism that you dread because of a need to perform perfectly. So you may have been, again, denying yourself that opportunity because maybe you feel too vulnerable to put up with the riffraff or the critics or the negative naysayers. And again, I'm just here to give you some messages. This is such a positive spread. You have opportunities coming to you in multiple areas of life. It's just you who needs to get on board with them. And so, again, I don't believe in doing fear-based readings. That's not what this is about. But this is about making you aware that you're not going to miss out on this. I think the universe keeps circling it around to sort of tempt you and see if you'll... I don't want to use the word tempt because that indicates it could be sinister. That's not it at all. I think I'm literally seeing waiters carrying like hors d'oeuvre trays. I'm literally seeing that. That's hilarious. It's like, would you like to try the... whatever, fill in the blank. Would you like to try this? And you're like, no, not for me. I'll pass. And the waiter comes back like, are you sure? Because these are really good. Everyone's enjoying them. No, you're good. It's like the universe keeps sending that waiter around to see if you're interested this time. And interestingly, the fact that I'm using the metaphor of a waiter, this idea of food and nourishing your body and denying yourself what is so essential for you to grow, nutrients, think of it that way. You need the sustenance. You have the water. You have the sun to grow that little seed that's inside of you. You keep passing. You keep rejecting it. You keep denying it. And again, I never mean to offend. I don't want you guys watching this going, where? I don't see it. I don't understand. I see it in the cards several times over. So maybe you're looking in the wrong areas of life. Maybe you're looking to be nourished romantically when the universe is trying to nourish you financially, or vice versa. Or, again, be creative. This could happen in multiple areas of your life. You're never going to miss out on this opportunity. But if you are noticing patterns of something coming to you, and if it's not the exact same thing, it's similar, you need to start picking up on that pattern and understanding, okay, why? I'm not saying you have to take it, but I am asking you to maybe be more analytical. Why do you feel like this opportunity keeps coming around? Is it something that could be really good for you, but it challenges your idea of what you are meant to do in this life, or who you are supposed to be, what you would need to sacrifice to do this, right? But by not taking it, there's a major message here of you're essentially giving your approval or endorsing the fact that you always need to be the one to sacrifice something and no one else. And that's going to be a lesson for you in this lifetime for sure. You also have Jupiter transiting your 7th house of romantic partnership. Your dating life this week, in the coming weeks, looks awesome. Love these cards. You even have this idea of legacy or long-term. There could be an expansion of a growing family. Some of you may be putting a lot of effort into starting a family, having children. I would argue your spouse may have been a little bit conflicted about that for a multitude of reasons. But some of you, that seems to be in the cards. Again, you have a really strong card here of childhood. If you're trying to get pregnant and you've struggled, this is a funny message to me, but something about going on vacation when you're sort of relaxed and at ease, and maybe your body isn't so just like, oh my God, I'm so stressed out about work. Get away. If it's not physically, mentally, let your mind just sort of drift away. Spending a lot of time in your spiritual practice, whatever that may be, it very Virgo-esque. Get away from like the mental stress of it and allow things to just sort of be okay with not having all the answers. Almost opposite your sign on the zodiac wheel, Piscean. It's not really all that tangible. It's hard to pin down and get exact facts and details. It's very mystical. It's very dreamy. It's very fantasy-like. And I know for some of you that really challenges your essence, your core being, but it's good to, again, practice that balance. Things are going to fall into place for you. I mean, they already are, whether you realize it or not. Take a deep breath and do something for yourself this week, as hard as that may be for some of you. All right, Virgos, this was a tremendous reading. I got something out of it. I hope you did. Anyway, thank you for joining me here on my channel, guys. I appreciate you showing up for me. Remember to like the video, subscribe to my channel if you have not already, and I will see you next week for more tarot. Bye, Virgo.